be asking them certain questions. What difficulties do they face in their respective countries when they are, for example, in the field of sports or in the field of journalism, or basically what problems do they face when they are in any walk of life. Since the beginning of this session, we are talking about peace and sports. So I think women are the primary, or I can say the most important people of bringing peace to any nation, to any country. But at the same time, the people who suffer the most, whether they are happy times, whether they are bad times, they are women. So every woman's journey is very different from every man's journey. Something that is very easy for a man to do is very difficult at the same time for a woman. For example, performing in academics is equally easy for women and men, but for sports, for example, it is very difficult for women to go in sports because it is considered that they are not conforming to the societal norms and traditions, and they are thought that they are doing something wrong. So women face problems on TV as well, on social media as well, on sports platform as well. So I'm going to ask them one by one that what kind of problems do women face in their countries. Firstly, I'm going to introduce all of these ladies to you. Firstly, we have Ma'am Nargiz Mahmudzadi from Azerbaijan, who is EC member of AIPS Europe. Then we have Anna Szilagyi from sports from Hungary. She is sports photographer from Hungary. Then we have Salma Niazi, an Afghan journalist, and from Pakistan, representing Peshawar, we have Dewa. So first of all, my question from you, Ma'am Nargiz Mahmudzadi, would be that what are the hindrances and what are the problems that women face in Azerbaijan when they are doing their journalistic activities, or doing an interview, or like they are, for example, if they are in a group of people, they are interviewing some people, do they feel that they are being harassed, or do they feel that it is very difficult for them to convey their message to the other people? So I'd like you to speak about it.
Okay, thank you. First of all, arranging this discussion, women in sports, is a very important issue. It's one of the main important programs of the International Olympic Committee. The program is called Sports and Women. This is the first one, that like involvement of women in sports. And another thing is the gender equality. Gender equality in all the fields, in all the spheres of the country. So gender equality, foundation of gender equality starts within family and then within society. And also government should pay attention to the gender equality. For example, in Azerbaijan, I do not face any problem at all. You see me here, right? I can go to any country, I can do anything for the development of my career. Because there is a law in Azerbaijan, it's called On Ensuring Gender Equality, adopted by the government, which places special importance to the involvement of women in all spheres of the country, and any discrimination is prohibited in the country. So this gives me opportunity to work as a journalist in sports, to work I'm the vice president of the National Sports Journalists Association. I also work at the university. I educate students through sports, which means that I have got all the opportunities to develop sports in my country.
So as we just heard from her, that in her country, women are liberated, equality is given. People are considered to be equal, whether they're men or whether they're women. So as a result, we can see that women from their country are coming to our country, and they're liberated so much that they can talk freely and they can express themselves in front of a lot of people, which is a very good thing, and it would bring prosperity to that country. Now we'll move on to Ma'am Anna, and since she is a sports photographer, I'd like to ask her that do you feel that there worldwide, is there any problem that women face when it comes to sports? Like, do they have permission issues? if they're not getting permission from their families to go in sports? Or do you face any problems when you go on the mainstream and cover the whole event?
So actually I think that today gender equality is a very popular thing, and the companies have to fulfill that thing. So right now in Hungary, as a woman, I think that I have some advantages of being a woman, because all of these big companies have to send women to sport events, because gender equality is not fulfilled because of sport photographers. But among the photographers, it's not so common to have women. And this is because, of course, this is a tough job. You have to fight for your place. You have to be very fit to carry those heavy equipment. But I think that right now in sports, it is an advantageous thing to be a woman.
So, since we are interviewing prosperous countries, we are interviewing the women from those countries who are liberating women, so we hear good things from them. But now when we move on to Afghanistan, we'll hear from them that what their problems are. Mung Makhamak Nasti, Salma Niazi, Chikam Afghan journalist, और मुंग बदागी ने तपोस को चे अफगानिस्तान के द तालिबान रातलो नपस और द तालिबान रिजीम पवजा जिससे सब प्रॉब्लम्स रागली दी सड़ो तो खुरागली दी खुखज़ तालागी ने ज़्यादा मसले रागली दी खज़े मेनस्ट्रीम मंदिर रातली नशी अगी जर्नलिज्म पर सुकूल नशी अगी बाहर पसड़क नशी रावते अगी पकोरुनु के कैद शवी दी और अगी तडेर ज़्यादा मसले दी और अगी बारह के चातवेर में नशी नो ستاسو څه خیال دی چې ستاسو کنټري څنګه دینا ځان راوستې او څه مسلې دي ستاسو ښځو ته؟
سلامونه ټولو ته. په افغانستان کې په جمهوریت کې د ښځو ونډه په سپورټ کې هم زیاته وه. ښځو ته ډېر وخت هم ورکول کېده چې هغوی کار وکړي، مثلا خپله دنده ترسره کړي، لاړ شي. او اوس چې طالبان واکمنان شوي، ښځو ته ډېرې ستونزې دي. کار ته نه شي تللی، هغوی په کور کې قید دي، ماشومان سکول ته نه ځي. کلو کې هلته له مخکې هم پرابلم و. مثلا جنوکۍ هلته هم پخوا نه طالبان واکمن چې کوم ځای کې و هلته یې په سکولونه بند کړي وو، خو کله چې سقوط شو له حالات نور هم خراب سو. هغه چې په ښار کې خلاص و هغه مکتبونه یې بند کړي دي. پرون په بدخشان کې ښځې جګې شوي دي، مثلا مظاهره یې کړې چې موږ ته مکتبونه خلاص کړي. هغوی د پوهنتون شړل شوي دي، لیکن هغوی حجاب هم کړی و، هر څه یې کړي و، ماسک هر څه و، خو بیا هم شړل شوي. ورته یې ویلي چې تاسو چادري واچوئ. په یو په بله بانه طالبان دا غواړي چې ښځې په کور کښېني او تعلیم ته یې پرېنږدي.
نو جی که داسې کنټري وي چې کوم کې ښځو ته اجازت نه وي د بهر راوتو. اوکې رایټ سر. So countries like that where women are incarcerated, where women are not allowed to speak, where women are not allowed to express themselves completely, where even men are not allowed to express themselves completely, let alone women. So I would think that it would be a claustrophobic kind of an environment where women would feel difficult to breathe even. As she said that children are not allowed to go to school, women are not allowed to go to school. So if you do not let your youth to get educated, if you do not let, I would say half of your youth, because women population is mostly higher in every country, if you do not let them to grow that way, to bring prosperity to your country that way, then you can never get out of the claws of, I would say, the problems, and you would always be facing those problems. As she said that they find, every time they find a reason to ban women from the mainstream, they find reasons to incarcerate women, they find reasons to sort of jail women in their homes, because they don't want them to grow, because they want their own dominancy over there, because women are a very important part of every society. So if they will suppress them, oppress them, subjugate them, they would not let them grow, it will just keep their dominancy constant. So in my opinion, one should not do that, and one should let their women and men grow equally as the prosperous countries, as the developed countries are doing, so that the other countries grow the way they are growing, so that the other countries get educated the way they are educated, so that the other countries get better in a way that they are getting better. Now we'll move on to Dewa, who is from Peshawar and presenting Peshawar, Pakistan basically. So Dewa, what do you think in Pakistan the situation of women is? Are they being suppressed? Are they being subjugated in any way? Are the journalists of Pashtun families or Sindhi families, women, not allowed to go on the mainstreams? Or are women facing any difficulties when they are going for sports? Are they allowed to go in sports?
Gul Rukh, I believe that, and what I've seen myself in recent years, I think the situation has, it has become more in our favor, in favor of women, as most of my colleagues here, the journalists from different countries, as they have explained that there are some problems when you are doing something that is not really common in your area or in your specialization, or something that is not considered normal for a woman to do. So I think these are the prejudices that have been created by the patriarchal society, which is even in today's world, patriarchy is still a prominent thing, a prominent being that is actually hindering the possibilities that could be availed by women. But I have seen, especially in Peshawar, in this region, and in Swat and Banu, the areas that have been hugely affected by the war on terrorism, and certain other religious elements, religious extremism as well. They have suffered a lot. We should not sideline that, because that has now become part of our history. Unfortunately, they couldn't even go for education or even gain education. But recently we have seen, after the war on terror, that right when we went for stabilization, right when we became more stabilized, there was a plethora of women who we have seen who have risen in recent years. Some are mountaineers, some are athletes. They are bringing gold medals, bronze medals, silver medals in a lot of competitions. They are bringing medals home. And even recently, this season, if you see, our women cricket team, they actually did better in the Asian Cup, Asian World Cup than over the men team. So I think when provided with the opportunity, women of Pakistan, they've really outdid themselves. They've really performed well in almost every walk of life. Even in sports such as mountaineering and skiing, or horse riding. Even in the equestrian, our equestrian team has also done very well. Our tent pegging team, recently they've also won medals. So I believe that when provided with opportunity, they actually can, and they have shown it to us that they can outdo themselves. So I think those opportunities need to be provided, despite of whatever gender they are from. Even men have faced certain problems. Who, our recent Olympic champion, he also was saying that he didn't got much support from the government, but he still did a very good job. So similarly, when we see that so many women, they are actually doing a great job, so that will actually encourage other women as well, and they will also come forward. But for that, we also need to educate them, and we also need to tell them that yes, the arena is open for you. All we need for you is to go and prove yourself.
Diva, as she said and as she pointed out, that it's about opportunity. If you are given an opportunity, men and women would perform in a similar way, and they would make the country proud. But if you're not allowed to do something, if you're not given the opportunity, if you're not provided with enough funds, so then nothing can grow, nothing can become better. As she said, that mountaineers are there are cricketers, there are footballers, there are people from different sports that are playing, and that they are representing the country in a very good manner. So that is because the opportunity has been given, and the opportunity wasn't given before, but since it has been provided now, we see the country going towards a better place. So it's all about the people who are investing, who are giving priorities to the sports. Because as we see, At war times, the only thing that you need is healthcare facility and security. But when you are becoming prosperous, you need to take along other things as well. And one of them, the foremost, I would say, is sports. That represents that this country is good enough that it is out of health and security just. It's not on war. It's a peaceful country and it is representing itself in something good. So for that purpose, the people in whose hands these things are, they should work for it even more, and they should give opportunities to everybody regardless of their gender. So I guess, okay.
Say that she was right. My Pakistani colleague is absolutely right, stating that opportunity should be given to women to take part in the events, either sport or other events. So I think like the Pakistan Sports Writers Federation organized this International Peace and Sport Conference. So it would be also a very good idea to organize sports and women conferences, either local or international in the country, which will boost women participation in sport.
Thank you so much for your opinion. Yes.
First, women have to get opportunities, but on the other hand, they also have to have respect from their men colleagues. As in the everyday life, I think as a photographer, it's not the hardest thing to get an opportunity, because nowadays it's, as I said, it's popular and it's easier maybe, but to earn their respect and be treated as equals, it's not so easy. So you have to earn the men's respect, and men should be aware that women can be as good as men, and even better, of course.
Yeah.
She also, I will build up on your argument that it is not just about, filling the quota that, okay, let's, add women just because we have to represent our image as someone who is a company or as an institution or as an organization who believe in equality, who believe in gender equality just because it's woke. It's also, I think, we should also go to the ground levels of how you need to treat your female colleagues, like in a similar, show similar respect to them as is shown to the male colleagues. It's not just about filling the quota, it's about actually doing what is necessary.
Women counterparts should be given the equal respect. They should be treated the way humans are treated, so that they don't fear coming on the platform. I would ask you another question. You said that in Azerbaijan there are laws of equality, that women and men are treated equally. Is it just because of the laws, or no family system is designed that way?
This is another question, and very good question. Thank you for that. I think women get support from their families. This is very important that my colleague Anna just noted. So it's very important that we hear like all these like male representatives. They have to just help their sisters, daughters, colleagues. They have to encourage them to participate in any spheres of the country. It can be sport or any other. So which means that women need support from their families, and family, then society, the government, all together correlated will help women to participate in all spheres of the country. This is gender equality.
Much for your opinion, as she stated, that the family support is very necessary, and the family support does not come by only laws, because you can implement laws, but you cannot just install cameras in everybody's house if they are practicing the law or not. Education should be given to men, to women. They should be told that you have this right and you don't have to succumb to the difficulties. You have to speak for yourself. And the male counterparts, they should ensure this, that in their home, inside their house, equality is there. Sons and daughters are treated equally, so then they can perform better. I have another question from Anna, that do you feel that other than you, if there are any photographers, women photographers, do they come do they feel kind of societal pressures on them when they are performing generally, or they are doing their jobs? Is the society letting people grow, or is the society making people restricted?
So actually, I think that in our society you have the opportunity to grow and to be supported, but every day you have, maybe I think that you have more challenges. Like sometimes you get some negative comments from your men colleagues, and you feel that you are not you don't belong there, and it can be tough. And sometimes you can feel that you are not supported and nobody wants you to be there, even if it's not true. You can just feel that, and I think this is why like women should support each other. As I told you, like nowadays it's very common to hire women, but when I was looking for a mentor, it was not so easy to find one because there are not so many women in this profession. So I was lucky because I have a really good photographer who can ask for some advice. But this is why men also should support women and not try to. So you have to support them, and you have to ask them if do you need any help? Can I do anything to make things easier for you? So I would like to ask, actually, if you look around in this room, you can see that there are way more men than women. So it means that for women, it's even more difficult to find a place and to get a place here. So that means that women have to work like, I don't know, 3 times as hard as men to be here. So I would like to actually ask all the women here to stand up, and we should all just clap them, because it's not so easy to get a place here as a woman. So I would like to ask you to stand up, because it's a really big deal that I would like to ask the women to stand up. The women, not the men, the women. It's about the women now, and I would like to ask you to clap them, because it's not so easy to have a place here or have a place in the world of journalism. Thank you.
So تاسو نه زما یو سوال دی چې تاسو ته لګي چې تاسو چې کوم افغانستان دی هغې کې به ښځې چرې هم د کور نه روزي، هغوی به سپورټس له لاړې شي یا هغوی به جرنلزم ته لاړې شي. که دا کول وي نو افغانستان ته څه مسلې پیش کېدی شي، هغوی به هغه څنګه هغه مسلو نه ځان راوکاږي. داسې څه افغانستان وکړي چې ښځې چې کوم دي هغوی هم جرنلزم ته راشي، هغوی هم سپورټس ته راځي، هغوی هم ایجوکیشن حاصل کړي. داسې څه افغانستان ته پکار دی ستاسو په خیال؟
زما په نظر چې تر څو پورې طالبان موجود دي داسې خو به امکان ونه لري چې یو ښځه د بیرون ته ووځي هغه د مثلا تعلیم وکړي، ځکه چې طالبان داسې خلک نه دي چې هغه یو څوک تعلیم ته پرېږدي. هغه ټولې نړۍ ته معلوم دي چې هغه زورواکي دي. مثلا که یو څوک بیرون ته یو څوک مثلا چداري کې در باندې ووایي چې ته چداري کې یو ځای ته ځه، سکول ته د ایجاب کړی تا د سکول نه منې کوي، همداسې ژورنالستانو ته هلته خطرې ماسک اچوه. نو داسې محدودیتونه چې دوی کوي نو یقین مې نه راځي چې افغانستان ته دوی هغه څه برابر کړي لکه څنګه چې نړیوال دي.
It is very truly said that the misuse, or I would say the manipulation of religion, when it goes on, it penetrates so much into the society that they are unable to think beyond that. So I think that they should come out of it as soon as possible, because they are heading towards a bigger catastrophe now. I have a question from both of you. There is a common notion that women are physically weak, so they should not go to sports because they cannot perform there as they are born weak. So what is your opinion on that? How do you shun these notions?
I think vice versa. Women are more powerful than men. This is what I want to say.
They say that the most difficult thing in life to give a birth, and women are the one who give birth, so that means that women are the strongest.
Yes. So on this note, we'll end this session of today, and I would thank all of those 4 women who came and who participated in this session, and they, please.
I wanted to say something. I personally thank Pakistan Sports Writers Federation's President Mr. Malik Amjad, for arranging this panel discussion here, which means you will have more women panels in Pakistan. Thank you.
So kudos to our sir who has arranged everything over here, and now we are seeing a bright future for ourselves, women too, men too, everybody interested in sports, and even everybody interested in seeing sports. So on this note, we'll end today's session right here. I am thankful to all of these 4 ladies and for coming from so far for attending this session and enlightening us with your opinions and your ideas. Thank you so much.